Vortex, I have too much empathy to live in this world. I really do. This coworker of mine trying to kill this fly for no reason. Now his leg is permanently fucked up. I turned down the jazz because I don't know if he likes jazz. I don't want to freak him out. I'm sure he's scared because he's out of his natural habitat. He's in an automobile and he doesn't know what that is. It could be a she. I don't know. Am I silly to get really upset about things like this? I mean, this world is so cruel for no reason at all. It's like, I get it, my coworker's a woman, and women are typically afraid of bugs for no reason. It just kind of proves, like, that the nature of women is not very good. Like, why are they so intimidated by another creature that was made by God? I will never understand it. I mean, maybe if it was like a giant spider or something. It's a fly. I mean, flies don't do anything besides shit on things. I'm sorry you're so frustrated. I wonder whenever he's going to get to the stage of learned helplessness, he's just going to give up. But you see his leg is messed up. Flip over. Flip over, my friend. Go on. There you go. You did it. You did it. I'm sorry she did that to you. She's ignorant. Most people are ignorant of the spiritual world. That's why they're easily overtaken by demonic spirits and things of that nature. If they can't see the good, they definitely can't see the evil for what it is. Okay, baby. Are you okay now? Are you okay now? Oh, look at his little eyes. They're so freaking cute. Hello. Hello, friend. So you just gotta look at everything like it's your friend. And if you have that kind of energy, Where'd you go? He fell somewhere. So bad, dude. I don't know where he went, but he's somewhere in this car. In this car, he'll probably die. Because I don't think that they live very long, so it probably is pretty silly that I'm crying about him. It's just, like, the total cruelty of people on this planet. And I don't think that this person that, you know, fucked with him is bad, you know. She's afraid of bugs, you know. And if you're afraid of something, you kill it, right? Right? Because it can't be trusted. Well, wherever you are, wherever you are, you're fixing to remain, because we are leaving. We are going home. My manager switched my schedule, and so I thought I was late, but I was actually like 5 hours early, so I just stayed and made extra money and worked it up. So I guess that worked out in my favor. He disappeared. It's okay. I've been a really shitty person before. I mean, I've told y'all I used to be a klepto. I was actually reading about that last night. 2/3 of kleptomaniacs are women. And it actually makes sense because, you know, women are very, very susceptible to, like, you know, societal trends and all that. And so it's like, I think that social media is a way for, like, women to pretend that they're a bunch of things that they're not. And I guess you could say that about a lot of aspects of our culture. You know, like video games do that. D&D does that. Pornography does that. Sex. Like, sex is a window into the soul, so it's like who you think you are when you fuck is who you really want to be, you know? But, that makes sense out of kleptomania. Like, I mean, I know from my own personal experience that, like, I was kind of, like, pretending to be this totally, like, immoral person that didn't give a fuck about anything, you know? And I know that sounds like a real good excuse for behaving badly, you know? Like, well, I was just acting, you know? But really, though,
I did things that allowed me to play that role. So I drank a lot. I stole a lot of shit. And I fucked a lot of people. You know, so it's like I could play the role of this like totally depraved, degenerate, you know, obviously suicidal person. Because I feel the fuck out of everything. So it makes sense that I would want to pretend to be somebody that doesn't feel anything at all. Somebody that doesn't have standards or ethics. Somebody that just does whatever seems like a good idea in the moment and doesn't think twice about it. You know? It's like I have to live with that forever, you know? But I'm really guilty, I'm really grateful for my guilt. I'm really grateful for my shame, because at least I feel that, you know, at least I acknowledge that it's wrong. I acknowledge that I made mistakes. I acknowledge that I need God's help. I acknowledge that I need salvation. You know, a lot of people don't even know that, and they're so lost. And they just keep going right back to the thing that doesn't work. I just really feel for people that don't believe in God. And they feel sorry for me, you know? But I guess we're all just like different versions of the thing that we mock. You know? We're all different versions of the thing that we reprimand. Because we're not wise enough to see that from another light or another angle, it's the same fucking thing. You know? And that's the beauty of empathy, and that's the beauty of actual equality. Like, whenever you see that everything really is equal. I mean, it is and it isn't. Multiple things can be true at the same time. But, you know, as I've aforementioned, most of the people that can't grasp that concept that, like, yeah, like, racial stereotypes exist, but not all people that look like that fit that racial stereotype. So it's not fair to assume that all people that look that way act that way. You know? Multiple things can be true. But, yeah, like, a lot of people that live on this planet have a really, really hard time with that. Because it's like, if they believe anything that's true, it's like they just hold on to it for dear life, and they act like it's the only truth that exists. And that's just not true. Like, there's just so many different ways that you can look at things. And if you really want to solve problems, you gotta be like me. The head and the heart. We're not supposed to sacrifice one thing for the other. And I believe that there's a part of Romans that talks about that. How, you know, like, no specific part of our body is more important than any other part of our body. So it's silly to place so much weight on one thing when it's all important. Please tell me if I'm like misrepresenting scripture. I'm sure somebody will. It'll either be a Catholic or a Protestant. Go on, baby. You can go. I feel like being really nice right now. I'm so nice. I'm so nice. Really grateful to be driving again. I didn't have this vehicle for several weeks because the control arm of the rear tire was messed up because I hit a guardrail in the snow and ice. So luckily I have mechanic friends that can take care of things. Yeah, man, I hate this world so much, but that's because I truly want what's best for it. Like, I really want to help people. That's really all I want to do. And so, you know, I was thinking earlier about how, like, it's silly that I bitch about capitalism because, you know, I wouldn't be able to live the kind of life that I live if I didn't live in that society. You know, if I lived in like a more oppressive country, you know, I wouldn't be able to just kick it, you know, be able to just hang out at my house at like 3 a.m. and make art, call other crazy people and talk about conspiratorial shit, you know, like I think I really appreciate the things that do make this country great, and I can still see those things, and I'm very leery to like call myself a patriot or anything like that because I've never really felt much of an allegiance to this place. But at the same time, I think that it has a lot to do with the fact that like if we have all this opportunity and we just piss it away and just waste our lives online obsessing about what people think that like we'll never even meet, you know, it's just like what a slap in the face to our ancestors. You know? But I don't think that like I'm off base when I bitch about Americans, you know, because I see the choices that they make and they're not good, and that's why I bitch about freedom and I talk about how we'd be better off in a fascist state, you know, like if the government actually was regulating the food that we consume and like our sexual partners and all that shit. It's just way too easy for people to make really, really grave mistakes in this country. Like it's way too easy and it's way too socially acceptable, you know? And it's like if those mistakes negatively impact the youth, you know, in my book, that's inexcusable. But I know we're not reading my book, okay? I wouldn't write a book. Are you kidding me? I'm too disorganized. I do not have the motivation to write a book. I have the motivation to talk about it. I mean, anybody can start a book. That's not difficult at all, you know? Maintaining the confidence that it takes to continue to pursue something like that, you know, that's something completely different. But, you know, I know my limits. And so I guess that's why I do comedy, because it's like I know that I can be funny on the spot. And as much of a hoarder as I am of like random shit, it's like I really don't use a lot of this stuff. You know? Like, I'll do a joke and it'll be really funny and it'll work really, really well. But it's like if I do it again, it just doesn't feel the same. And I'm really glad that I'm like that. Even though I'm kind of jealous of people that are boring. Because their lives are so much simpler than mine. But like, I don't know. I guess that there are upsides and downsides to everything. But one thing I've never regretted is refusing to get a smartphone. So that is like my biggest flex, I would say, is that I'm not devoting the majority of my day to staring at a screen that listens to me, validates me, and tells me that I'm right about everything, so that I don't have to grow as a person. You know, I'm really grateful that I don't have that option. And what's really sad about it is like, yeah, with all these things that we have at our fingertips, like, what we choose to do with that is just, like I said, it's a slap in the face to our ancestors, you know? Like, our ancestors would have headed right back to Germany if they could have, like, foreseen TikTok dances and vape pens and podcasts, live streams. A live stream is a dead dream, y'all. It's a dead dream. I just don't get it. I realize, though, that just because I don't get it, like, that doesn't make it bad, you know? It's like a lot of people like that shit. A lot of people get something out of it. But what do they get out of it? Like, really, it just seems like a waste of time. You know, it's like, I'm gonna sit here on my computer, I'm gonna sit here on my phone and like watch a video and like interact with other people. I mean, maybe it's a good thing, I don't know. Maybe it's like a good like communal thing if your stream is good and you have good people on it, you know. Maybe I'm just ignorant. I'm so ignorant. I don't know the glory of the live stream. But it just bores me, you know. But I'm sure that my content bores people too, because you know, I don't like keep people's attention with like, you know, like jump cuts or whatever the fuck, you know. Like, I was told that if I really want to keep people's attention, I gotta just do shit like that, just random stuff. And I'm like, well, I already kind of do that, courtesy of the schizophrenia, but like, I'm not gonna do that like on command. I'm not gonna like, you know, include that in my, you know, vlogs or whatever. Like, I don't cater to like what society wants, because society is stupid. Society needs to learn from me, not the other way around. What is society gonna teach me other than how to self-destruct in a socially acceptable way, you know? It's like, fuck you. Fuck you. Don't give me suggestions, dear society. I mean, you can give them to me, but I ain't gonna take them.